You're watching Fox 8 News.
Time now 7:25. Folks across New Orleans have been working on a master plan for the future of our city post-Katrina. Despite all that work, without new zoning ordinances, the master plan may as well just be a moot point. That's why the city is giving people the chance to share input on the new zoning ordinances for their individual neighborhoods. Joining us now, city planning consultant Les Pollock, who is working on drafting these new ordinances. Thank you so much for being here. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you. Good morning.
Explain what's happening with these ordinances. Right now we have a master plan in the works, but a lot of it can't unfold until ordinances are changed.
Correct.
Right?
The master plan sets the vision for the city. But in order to carry the vision out, we need a set of rules and regulations, and the zoning ordinance is the key tool for that. Indeed, there's a linkage between them that's in the law. So the purpose of the activity now is to be able to take the concepts and ideas that are in the master plan and turn them into standards and regulations that can be applied by people on their own property as they build. So as the people in the community rebuild New Orleans, it's built back to the vision of the plan.
And what are we talking about? People who might be remodeling a house or putting a porch on a house? Or what is this ordinance, these ordinances, what do they govern? Well,
zoning governs all aspects of physical development. It governs where a building can be located on the lot. It governs the size of the building. It governs how far it can be set back from the street. It governs the kinds of activities that happen inside buildings. So the uses, where can you have retail and what kinds of retail activities can happen in certain areas. So it's very involved. It also establishes rules for how landscape can be used to screen parking lots. So requirements are established there. Parking requirements come from the zoning ordinance. So when developers build a parking lot, they have to build it to a standard that's established within the zoning ordinance. So it really is all pervasive in terms of the influence it has on structuring the built environment here in New Orleans.
Just because you own your own property doesn't mean you can necessarily do whatever you want with it.
No, we all have to follow rules.
And you are in the process of changing these rules, and you want public input, so you're holding a series of I want to call them hearings, but they're actually meetings.
Yeah, these are hearings. They're not. Meetings they are, and indeed discussions is the most important thing, because if we're going to draft regulations that help to craft the standards for affects development on people's lots, we need to hear from them, because we need to understand what types of details that they want to have reflected in those ordinances. This has to do with as I said before, the parking standards in commercial areas, or where parking could be in front of your house or on your lot. You know, when we had discussions last night, we were in the Garden District and holding one of the meetings. So the meetings will be held both. We had the first meeting, 2 meetings last night. There will be 2 meetings on Thursday, and then meetings on Monday through Wednesday, and so there's a whole schedule, and they can be found on the website www.nolamasterplan.com, so that people can figure out which area to come. And it's very useful to have people from their neighborhood come to that neighborhood meeting, because conditions in neighborhoods are different. So the kind of rules that should be applied, for example, in the Garden District or in Mid-Cities areas of discussions last night, are different than the kinds of rules that really should be applied in, say, Algiers or in New Orleans East, because the nature of the properties are different, and the nature of the types of buildings there, and the lot sizes are different. So we can't create a one-size-fits-all ordinance. What we want to do is create a zoning ordinance that fits these different areas. People have looked at the plan, and the plan talked about development that happened in the post-war era and the pre-war era. And so we need to have standards that reflects those different types of development.
Real quick, this when will the master plan be ready? When will folks be able to get a final glimpse of it?
Of the master plan?
Mm-hmm. Or the ordinance changes?
Well, the ordinance changes, the schedule that we're trying to work towards, and everything can change, is that we're hoping to get a public draft out for discussion in the fall.
Okay.
And then we'll move forward at that point.
Perfect. Les Pollock, thank you so much for being here this morning. We really appreciate your time and trouble.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Still to come this morning on Fox 8 Morning News, Jefferson Parish crime stats show a positive change. Also, the NOPD identifies a suspect wanted in a 9th Ward murder. Details coming up right after this.